How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the ADL labeling the OK symbol, this right here, as a hate symbol. Now, this is just really silly. It kind of just points out how useless and so far to the left and partisan that the ADL is. But I got to back up a little bit here to explain to you who the ADL is and why they matter. Why is it even the story right now? Why are we talking about it? First of all, ADL, that's the Anti-Defamation League. They are a Jewish group, or they purport themselves to be acting in the interests of Jewish people, to be against anti-Semitism and that kind of thing. But really what they do is they highlight cases of white supremacy, even when there may not really be a correlation. They've done other things like this, pointing out certain things that are really quite innocent as so-called symbols of white supremacy. Remember Pepe the Frog? They said that was a symbol of white supremacy. The Confederate flag somehow is a symbol of white supremacy. I don't really even understand that one, because the Confederate flag was only around for like 4 years of slavery. It came at the end of slavery. The American flag was around for longer than that, but I digress. The Confederate flag is a symbol of white supremacy. The letter 14 is a symbol of white supremacy, as in 1488. A lot of different things are on their website as hate symbols. And one common theme would be everything is about white supremacy in some kind of way, whether directly, as in like, you know, a Nazi tattoo on somebody's chest in the penitentiary, or totally not even close, like the letter 14 or the OK symbol. If the OK symbol is a symbol of white supremacy, then why is it found in Google's Emojipedia? Basically, I can find that right now in Google and type it on my phone as an emoji. Okay, so why is that now a symbol of white supremacy, bigotry, hate, or whatever the case? The ADL are saying that the white supremacists have co-opted this. The alt-right, the quote-unquote alt-right, whatever that is, have adopted this symbol. So therefore, it is now considered a symbol of hate. But I mean, at a certain point, people that are human beings are going to do other things that other human beings do. So if a white supremacist eats some food, does that mean that eating food is a symbol of hate? Does that mean that being hungry is hateful? I mean, at a certain point, it's just kind of ridiculous. Now, the $1 million question, I guess, would be, why does it even matter? Why do we care what the ADL says? Well, the ADL are a very powerful organization. When they say things are, you know, symbols of hate and whatnot, it can have lasting effects. It can affect policy. It can affect different things like internet censorship. If I'm not mistaken, and if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. The ADL have partnered with not only Google, but Facebook as well to filter out hate, to, you know, kind of police the internets. So this could definitely affect you. What if I'm on Facebook and I'm doing something like this? I'm having a good time doing whatever I enjoy on a particular day, and Facebook sees that picture, they flag it, and then I get my account suspended. What if I have a business page on there and I have something like this in a header, or it might be a picture on the website. It could be a video of me doing it, and then my page gets suspended. That could impact my income. That could really damage my livelihood that way. All right. And then what if it comes to a particular point where the symbols of hate are used against you with the media? They have a smear campaign against you, talking about, oh, this guy, Anthony Brian Logan, he uses hateful symbols in his videos. He's a hate monger. He hates Jewish people. He hates black people. He's a racist. He's, you know, that kind of thing is what you get from these very powerful organizations that link with other very powerful organizations. It can be very damaging to not only your reputation, but also your career, your livelihood. So it's a really big issue. Now, I think that these people in ADL and other places, they're pretty much being fooled by trolls. Originally, the whole thing about the OK symbol being bad was on 4chan. They said that it was a symbol for white power. Like the W was like the 3 fingers up, and then the P was your index finger and your thumb connected with your hand and wrist, creating the P. So WP, white power. And people really believe that. CNN, MS13, NBC, they all pretty much ran with it and said, oh yeah, it's a symbol of white supremacy. Which is why when people say white supremacy this, white supremacy that, it kind of casts a dark cloud over everything. Everything is white supremacist. And it can be very damaging. At a certain point, I think, as we continue down this road, being called a white supremacist, having things be labeled symbols of hate aren't really going to mean much of anything, because everything at this point is now a symbol of hate. They were trying to say that drinking milk is a thing that white supremacists do. And if you get caught drinking milk in public, you can be considered a white supremacist. I mean, can I get the police called on me for drinking some milk and doing the OK sign? The OK sign has been done for years and years and years. Nobody ever thought it was a symbol of white supremacy until the mainstream media got fooled by trolls. And then very powerful organizations, lobbyist groups, whatever you want to call them, picked up on it and then reinforced it. It's really silly. White supremacy is an overblown thing. It's not a problem. Shout out to Candace Owens. Yes, there may be some white supremacists that exist, but I mean, come on. Your average everyday person is not waking up in the morning saying, hey, hopefully I'm not victim of a white supremacist attack. Okay. You're more concerned with the violence that is right around you. And you're not going to see a bunch of so-called white supremacists out there in the street, gang banging, drugging, and thugging. That's just not the reality of the situation. You may see a handful of them doing that. I think there's more so-called white supremacists in the penitentiary than there are out on the street, many more, and the danger from them is so low. Like, especially for a so-called person of color, and in my case, I'm not, colored. I'm not that. I'm a black guy. In my case, white supremacy is so far on the list of things that I'm actually concerned about. I'm concerned about the leftist media trying to, destroy the country in conjunction with the liberal Democrats, liberal Republicans, liberal centrists, independent people. I'm concerned about them first and foremost. That's my primary focus. Then I would say, people on the street that live right around me. Gangbangers, dope boys, that kind of thing, human traffickers. Then I'm concerned about like things in nature, coyotes, bees, that kind of thing, all the way down past like lightning strikes would be white supremacists. So the ADL, Google, Facebook, mainstream media, they're blowing this thing out of proportion. I did see that the government came out and said that white supremacist groups are an issue and all this and that. But I mean, seriously, they can say whatever they want and that's fine. But I know the reality of my life. And by observing what's happening in the country, I can pretty much assert that this whole thing of white supremacy is not an issue. And if it is nowhere near the extreme that many people on the left and the mainstream media, which are also on the left, would like for you to believe. And that's pretty much all I got. What say you? Do you think that this sign right here is a problem? Is it racist? Does it trigger you? Do you really get uncomfortable? Are you not in a safe place when you see that? Or is it nothing burger, overblown? The ADL just throwing random things out here just for no reason. And a lot of these online places, some even in the government, are just taking these things to the extreme. They're not focusing on what's really going on. It's kind of a distraction, really. I mean, we have people trying to like engage in the coup of the current sitting president. We have people trying to push transgenderism onto small children. We got kids being used for, the so-called climate change people, the climate change cult, really. You have all these things going on, but somehow white supremacy needs this big congressional hearing, a designation from the government to really look into it. It's not a big deal. Hopefully everybody out there can see that, but whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.